So today we're testing the heat transfer method, but instead of using a 50-50 lye solution with water, we're actually just splitting the goat milk into two parts and using all goat milk like we do down in the soap room, because I'm really curious to see how that'll go. And I found that when mixing lye with goat milk, you have to stir it quite a bit longer than when you're mixing it with water. It takes longer to dissolve, I think, at least based off of the feel of it. I wish I had gotten my thermometer up here sooner. I actually was doing this and asked Noelle to go and grab the one from the soap room because it's a laser. But I think that the goat milk in lye gets hotter, has like a hotter reaction. It's probably because of the sugars in the goat milk, because it seems to be melting this faster. And of course it's creating a much darker color. Definitely not white by any sense, but basically the problem we're having is we would kind of like to switch over to this method, but we have like over 300 listings on like third-party selling sites that not a single one of them lists water in the ingredients. So we'd have to go and change all of those listings, and we're not opposed to doing that. It's just going to take a while. So in order for this to be put into use, it has to be all goat milk. That's why we're running this test today. And if this goes well, perhaps we'll start using this method down in the soap room as well, instead of the method I have been showing you guys, where we heat everything and then cool it to 100 degrees-ish and mix it together. I do have some hesitations about this method going into winter because the soap room is not heated when we're not there. We basically just put a big heater on us while we're working and then turn it off when we're gone, because it's a cinder block building, so it would just lose all of that heat anyway. It would be really expensive to heat it full time. So, for example, if it's like 30 degrees out, all of the ingredients that I'd be starting with would be about 30 degrees. And since, as you can see here, this is a really low temperature thing, I don't know if it would be able to be done with ingredients that cold. So we'll have to do some trials there. So I'm not going to go and do a major overhaul of the soap room and get rid of all of our ability to heat everything so we can use this easily. I might scoot those things off to the side and start using this while the weather's still nice, but there could come a time in the winter where we won't be able to use it. But anyway, it's really fun to experiment with it. It's getting up to 102. See, right around now is when I would normally add the essential oils, but I'm just making unscented batches right now. So this is part of the test. Plus, when you add essential oils and something goes awry, you don't really know if it was the essential oil that did it or if it was your process. So I'm trying to do these exactly the same to compare the two. Now the first test I did in the last video, the soap seems to be doing really good. I'm actually in the process of testing it, but it has to be 48 hours old to undergo all of the tests. So the testing videos you see are done over the course of 2 days. Okay, so this is a nice light trace. So I'm just going to pour it into the mold. This is the exact same recipe I used on the last video for the first test, so there's a little extra. The only difference here is it's all goat milk instead of half water. Now, what I did find interesting about having the laser thermometer up here is I was able to test it a couple times after putting it in the mold, And the temperature was still climbing, not nearly as much in the Tupperware as in the wooden mold. So that's already at like 101 just sitting there. I didn't even cover this one. And then like 20 minutes later, I tested it again, and it was at 118, and the Tupperware was at 106. So like and subscribe.